Hi, Daryl Spector here with the Auto Repair Profit System. Today I'm going to share with you 10 different types of social proof that you can use with your shop to help you increase your car count and your overall profits. Now, people tend not to trust websites or brands. Research has actually shown that they would rather trust their peers. And according to research done by Nielsen, 92% of people will trust a recommendation from a peer, and 70% of people will trust a recommendation from someone they don't even know. But when it comes to ads or other paid types of social proof, less than 40% of people actually trust it. So the bottom line is, if you want your website or other sales and marketing that you do, maybe emails you send customers, or basically anything else to create immediate trust with your customer or a potential customer, you're going to need to show them that other people are already on board and what type of experience those people are having working with your shop. Now, I know you're really busy, so I'm not going to keep you too long here, but I do want to share these 10 with you. They are very, very powerful, so we're going to jump right in. So like I said, these are the 10 types of social proof that are going to help you increase your car count and your overall profits. So the first one is very straightforward. It's simple raw quantity. What does this mean? It means that simply by showing how many people are engaged or doing business with your shop, you're able to convince other people to do business with you as well. So for example, you could say over 4,943 Phoenix, Arizona residents trust Joe's Auto Shop for oil changes. The trick to this, however, is to remember to use a number that is both impressive and believable. So if you actually said, we have over 300,000 people that use Joe's Auto Shop to get their oil changed, you may not sound like you're being honest, even if you really are. Now, the second type of social proof is what we call celebrity and expert endorsements. Now, brands have been using celebrities to promote their products and convince skeptical consumers of their quality for hundreds of years. Now, here are some recent examples of endorsements for Pepsi and Skechers tennis shoes. Now, while it's highly unlikely that you're probably going to hire Jennifer Lopez or Kim Kardashian to promote your shop, there's still a way for you to take advantage of this method. Celebrities are effective for big brands like Pepsi and Skechers because they're trying to appeal to millions of people. But when you're a smaller company, a local auto repair shop, you have a more targeted audience. So you can instead use people that the audience trusts. You don't necessarily have to have these big celebrities. So what you can do is you can think of a person that on a local level your customers would trust or identify with, and then negotiate a deal with that person to do some endorsements for you. It's a very, very powerful technique. Now, the third type of social proof you could use is, probably you've heard of it before, it's testimonials and quotes. This is another very effective tactic, and the way that you could do this is to get testimonials from people who are just like your average customer and who benefited from using your service. And when you're asking for and collecting testimonials, here's some things that you should keep in mind. You want to make it quantitative. So qualitative testimonials are good, but testimonials with numbers that show how much you helped people can go much further, like we talked about before. 5,212 people use Joe's oil change. They can't be wrong for doing so. So you could also say something like 497 people last month took advantage of the low prices at Joe's Auto Repair Shop. Okay, that's what we mean by quantitative. Next, you want to make sure that you add pictures. Pictures make testimonials very, very, very trustworthy. So don't leave them out of there. And last, should go without saying, but get permission. Don't just put a testimonial out there and put people's name on it. People don't always ask before using someone's name, but like I said, it is a good practice. Take the time to ask just so you don't upset anybody. Social proof type number 4, where you have been featured. Now, when we say where you have been featured, a feature could be anything. It could be a quote, a reference, an article you wrote, a time that you were interviewed. You may have even posted something somewhere and put a link that goes back to one of your one of your shop's websites. So it could be anything like that. So you have to ask yourself is, who would you rather do business with? The owner of a shop just down the street from you, or the owner of a shop just down the street from you who has won numerous awards, been featured in industry publications, or maybe even been interviewed by local media outlets on the subject of auto repair. So that's what we mean by taking advantage of where you have been featured. Make sure that your customers or potential customers are aware of that. Social proof number 5 is certifications. You have certifications from different governing agencies as well as training certifications. You should really make sure, again, that your customers see these things either in your waiting area, in your shop, in your sales ads, on your website, different places like that. You really need to make sure that your customers and potential customers see that. Social proof number 6 is referrals. Sounds pretty straightforward, and basically it's recommendations from friends, and it has been proven that recommendations from friends are far and above the number one trusted source of advertising. We mentioned it a little bit at the beginning of this video. People will trust their friends more than an expert or a set of reviews, and certainly more than a paid advertisement. Now, the most obvious way to take advantage of this is to ask for referrals, usually with some sort of incentive for the referrer, the person that's actually giving you the referral. Social proof type number 7 is ratings and reviews. Now, even though potential customers have no idea who these reviewers are, having that social proof, as we talked about earlier, can be the deciding factor on whether people are going to spend their money with you. Now, when dealing with ratings and reviews, here are some tips to keep in mind. The more, the better. We take reviews more seriously when there are a lot of them. So if you had 10 5-star reviews, maybe you paid for them, or at least people might think you did. If you had 1,000 4.5-star reviews, that probably seems more legitimate to people who are researching your shop. You also want to make the review more detailed. So when you get detailed reviews from people, you want them to go beyond, we liked the service, or we liked what they did for us, or it was a great experience, or we would definitely go there again. Things like that aren't detailed enough, so the more details, the better. You also want to make sure that you are addressing concerns. So you want to think about what would stop someone from working with me or coming to my shop or doing business with me again. And then once you know those things, maybe there's something that comes up all the time at your shop that you come up against. You want to get testimonials and reviews that help address those concerns, and then you want to make sure that those are featured in a manner that people can see them when they're researching your shop or getting ready to do business with you. Now, social proof number 8 is what we refer to as the fear of missing out. You can leverage all of the social proof that we've talked about even more if you can convince a potential customer that there's a party going on that they might miss out on, so to speak. So how can you power up your social proof? By incorporating some of the fear of missing out. How can you show that, there's a party going on and everyone should want to join it right now? Well, here's some tips for using the fear of missing out. Make sure that you add deadlines to all of the marketing that you do. Make a consequence for what happens if someone doesn't act immediately. It could be that the price is going back up. It could be they lost a bonus of some kind, something else that may have been included with the service for the same price, or just the fact that they're going to regret not getting in on this particular offer. Another tactic is you can also show other people who did act and get testimonials from them saying, they didn't waste time, and here is what their experience has been. Make sure that the testimonials emphasize why the people should act right now instead of later. Now, social proof number 9 is social media proof. So try using your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, and other social media accounts that you have to show what people are saying about you out in the real world. So this is another form of testimonial or review, but since it's coming from a platform outside of your website, there's an extra degree of trust that is associated with it. And social proof number 10, which is rankings. And what we mean by rankings is you need to be ranked in some category, in some capacity, because it's a very strong indicator of your quality. So if you could say that you were voted number 1 for service or number 1 in customer satisfaction or something like that, that carries a lot of weight with the public, with consumers. The better ranking you have, the more traffic you're going to get from sites that your ranking is listed on, and the more impressed people will be with you when they see your shop in the future, regardless of the media that they see it in. So here are some tips for using ranking. And what those are is right here. Only use good ones, obviously. Just focus on good outlets to get your ranking listed in. Everyone has their haters. You're not going to please everybody, so just focus on good ones. The next thing to keep in mind is the more reputable, the better. Obviously, getting ranked or your rank mentioned in the New York Times has a lot more sway than on a random blog. So aim very high to get your ranking listed. And last, keep in mind, you want to build relationships to get featured. So if you want to be featured in the top 10 list from bloggers in auto repair, build relationships with them. You want to be at the top of their mind when they start making a best of type list. Now, I want to thank you for spending a little time with me today. And if you have any questions on how to implement this type of activity in your shop or in your marketing for your shop, or you would like to find out how we can help you do that, just go below in the description area of this video and there is information on how you can contact us. I hope you find this information valuable, and I will talk to you soon.